Jon Roth. You want to talk about your awesome guitar here? This is, I mean, Ellie, you can help me out here too, man. This is a piece of art. I mean, the guitars are. It is artwork in a lot of ways. They're beautiful. A lot of guitars remind me of female too, and I think this looks like a beautiful girl, kind of.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tell me a little bit about this guitar.
Let me start a little bit and tell you about it. But basically, this is a guitar that Uli designed in the 80s and been playing it for almost 30 years. It's never really been produced. Uli never felt comfortable giving this design and feeling that the design would be replicated in the way that he felt comfortable with. We met a few years ago, we talked, and we built a prototype, and he loved it so much he felt confident that we can produce a limited run of 50 pieces, only 50 for the world, that would be available to, 50 of his fans, which I think will be no problem selling out. It's a very, very sophisticated guitar, from the electronics to the 6-octave range. It's got 100 dB of output. It uses an external power supply, mega wing pickups, which are designed for Uli. It's just custom all the way. The fingerboard's scalloped. It uses 3 different types of fret wire, even uses mandolin wire, where you get up into the higher frets and they're just too close together. So it's hard to imagine how much thought and how much work went into this instrument.
Can you tell me? I mean, the spaces between the frets here. I mean, I've never seen that before.
First of all, there's one of the things that's really important is sonically. I like a warm tone. So in order to do this, we have pickups under the fretboard, and it actually works. It works beautifully. So we're getting a very warm tone from this guitar. So we don't just rely on that pickup, The spacing is this. When I had the first Sky guitar, the frets went all the way to the top, and it was a little bit narrow for the fingers, so the notes didn't sing very well. They used to die off. So eventually I came up with the idea of having whole tone steps here. You get an amazing tone out of these, and I've got the whole scale here. If I want to have chromatics, I play them on the B string and I have to skip strings. It takes a little getting used to it, but it's worth it because you're getting a fully analog high notes that you don't get on any other guitars, and for me that was important because from when I was very young, I always felt the range of the normal guitar, the Strat, which I used to play and which I've loved, it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted to play a little bit higher, That was really the inspiration for this guitar. Then I wrote this concerto for guitar and orchestra. It was called Sky Concerto. I started writing it, and I wrote stuff that needed more bass range. So I added a 7th string in the bass range. This is a 6th string. Up there we have a 7th string, And so that's how that guitar came about.
And Ella, you mentioned all these different electronic features and all these different things that are going on inside. How does someone come up with that? What do you?
It has a very sophisticated pickup system. They're actually passive pickups, but the electronics are active and they are incredibly powerful, and sonically I can do just about anything. At the flick of a knob, it almost sounds like a Les Paul, but I can match any Fender Strat sound with it, or Telecaster. And I like a guitar that's very versatile. And at the same time, it does have its own tone. So it's very much what I wanted,
How do you feel to be a part of the Dean Guitars family now?
Well, it's a new step for me, I love working with Elliot, and then Elliot is my friend, and he I don't want to say he talked me into it, but he convinced me that the time was right to do something like that. And a lot of guitar builders actually wanted to do the guitar. It never felt right somehow. Originally I had a lot of, maybe I shouldn't do this, it's my own baby and it's kind of personal, But then a lot of people copied it. A lot of fans copied it, and they didn't have the dimensions. When they came up with the guitars, they were always not playable. It's a very difficult guitar to build, because of the pickup under the neck and etc. You got to get it right. And Elliot promised me we're gonna leave no stone unturned to get it right, So, and yeah.
Are you happy with Are you happy with what you have?
Yes. We still have to get the setup right because it's very young. It's only a week old. Some of the action we need to fine tune it. So it's still a prototype, but it sounds phenomenal already. So tonight I'll play it on some of the songs, but we will fine-tune it a little bit further, and then we'll have the real deal, you know. And also I like being able now with these guys to try various color schemes, you know, because originally I only had 5. They were built by a great guitar builder in England who doesn't build anymore, you know. So there were no more Sky guitars for 20 years. So these are the first real Sky guitars, because we computer scanned it, and it's exactly the right dimensions. Even the scalloping is like mine. So that for the first time it actually feels like Sky guitars. Whenever people came up with their Sky guitars, they were just not really Sky guitars, you know. So these I can play in concert, you know. That's a big difference.
It's all about Dean.